Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Now, I get thousands of comments here on YouTube each and every day. So I've pretty much seen everything and nothing surprises me anymore. Or at least so I thought. I'm surprised with the amount of negativity aimed at Dillian Whyte for his withdrawal of the Otto Wallin fight. And I'm basing that on yesterday's video and of course today's video as well. And what's surprising, now it's not surprising that he gets hate, I mean all fighters do, okay, but it's surprising that a lot of them are coming from a section of Tyson Fury fans. Not all, okay, let me make that perfectly clear. It seems that the majority of Tyson Fury fans are looking at this whole situation going, fantastic. So we get to see Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, an all-British clash here in the UK at a stadium for the WBC, Ring Magazine, and some may have it, lineal heavyweight championships of the world. Fantastic. Bring it on. We don't get enough super fights. This is a super fight here in the UK. I don't know how the rest of the world feel about it, but here in the UK, that is a super fight. That fight here in the UK is so much bigger than a Fury versus Wilder fight. Any one of those three. But for some reason, some people, some Tyson Fury fans are saying how Dillian Whyte should be rescheduling the fight with Otto Wallin. Bearing in mind, let's go back to just before the Wilder third fight. Fury sat there in the press conference for BT Sport with Frank Warren saying how he's going to walk through Deontay Wilder, and in December, he wants Dillian Whyte. He wants to stay active. He wants Dillian Whyte here in the UK at a stadium. So let's hold everybody to the same fire, shall we? If that's what he's saying, he wants to fight Dillian Whyte in December, brilliant. But do you expect Dillian Whyte to recover from his shoulder, then go through a training camp after rescheduling the Otto Wallin fight, go back into another training camp and go fight Tyson Fury by at some point in December? Is that what you think Dillian Whyte should do? Is it? With the 21st of October right now, it's unlikely it'll be December anyway, but is that what you expect him to do? I mean, I'm sorry, for those of you who are saying how Dillian Whyte should be rescheduling, I'm sorry, was this the fight you were looking forward to, was it? Was you looking forward to Dillian Whyte versus Otto Wallin? Was this the super fight? Was this the fight of the year that you've been looking forward to? More than any other potential fights, this was the one you've been waiting for, that you've been ready to hand over your hard-earned cash to? Did you book your ticket to go to the O2 Arena because this is the fight that you really wanted? Dillian's my pal. I was looking forward to this fight, of course I was. But give me Tyson Fury, hey, I'm hands and feet in. For me, the impression that I'm getting from some of these Fury fans is fear. But yet at the same time, I say that, but yet they'll hide behind it and say, what, Dillian Whyte is crap. He's a C-level fighter. He only fights old people. He ain't no good. Tyson Fury will play with him, will school with him and knock him out. Easy work. Well, if that's true, then what are you worried about? Well, Tyson Fury, he's the greatest heavyweight of this era. Greatest heavyweight of all time, some people are saying. Okay, cool. And I'm not against that. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. But he's going to have to do a little bit more than beat Vladimir Klitschko 6 years ago and then defeat Deontay Wilder a couple of times. In my mind, he's beat Wilder 3 times. Most people's mind, he's beat Wilder 3 times. Officially, it's 2 and a draw. But it's still 2 people, Klitschko and Wilder. If you look back at the past heavyweight greats who were the greatest of their era, in the argument to be the greatest heavyweight of all time, like Muhammad Ali, like Lennox Lewis, like a Jack Johnson, like quite a few other people, Rocky Marciano, did they only fight 2 people? Did they? Or is it a case of you just want Tyson Fury to be seen as the greatest of this era and the greatest of all time without him having to prove it? Because you're worried that he might just slip up? Because he ain't perfect? No fight is perfect. Fighters take losses. And the more fights Fury has, the more chance he has of slipping up at some point. It happens to everybody. Well, most people. Could it be against Dillian Whyte? Maybe that's what you're worried about. I mean, again, I've seen quite a few comments of people who weren't saying it before, by the way, saying how, well, I was picking Dillian Whyte to lose by knockout to Otto Wallin in round 3, round 5, round 9. Wallin was going to take him to school. No, you weren't. Stop talking complete nonsense. Very few people were saying that. Now, I'll go back onto it. It does seem to be Tyson Fury fans who are, and I'm going to presume this one, most of them are British, yeah? Not all, of course not, but the majority I think we can all agree are British boxing fans, right? Or maybe just British. I wouldn't say boxing fans, because they are boxing fans. They'd be very keen on Tyson Fury fighting Dillian Whyte. And they'd be extremely confident, would you not? Wouldn't you want a Dillian Whyte on the resume of Tyson Fury to prop him up a little bit more as the greatest of this era? Surely. Or do you just want to give him the greatest fighter of this era in name only without proving it? I've never got that. That's like me saying my pal Steve Robinson is the best prospect that Great Britain has and will go on to rule the world. He is the best heavyweight that has ever lived. Then you'll go, but he hasn't proved it yet. Well, doesn't matter. Why don't Steve go fight David Adelaide, Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce, some of these kind of guys? Nah. Why? He'd beat all of them easy. What's the point? This is what you're saying to me about Tyson Fury. He beats Dillian Whyte easy, so there's no point in fighting him. Okay. Acting like you're devastated for poor Otto Wallin. Get out of it. You couldn't give a damn about Otto Wallin after what he done to Tyson Fury. You couldn't give a damn about him, yeah? And let's be honest, it's not like Dillian Whyte was going to lose to Otto Wallin, was it? If we're being very, very realistic, he wasn't, was he? Of course, it's heavyweight division. You never know. Maybe Otto Wallin would have battered him. Maybe he would have took him to school. Who knows what would have happened, okay? But unlikely. But it's possible. But again, if you're a British boxing fan and if you're a Tyson Fury fan, what would you rather? Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte or Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin Part 2? Which one's the box office? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty convinced. In fact, I'm pretty sure I speak for everybody when I say Fury versus Wallin Part 2 ain't exactly box office. I'm pretty sure. Again, some people say, but we want Tyson Fury to go fight Alexander Usyk for undisputed. That's what should be happening. Okay, cool. Well, that ain't what you're going to get. It ain't happening. Usyk is ruled out of that fight. Do you know why? Because he's fighting Anthony Joshua. Win, lose or draw, that fight's in March. Do you think Tyson Fury's going to sit around till March and then wait, 6 months later, another one? Do you really want Tyson Fury to be inactive? Or do you want him to stay active in the meantime? Go fight his mandatory Dillian Whyte as per ordered by the WBC. Yeah, ordered. People have this misconception that they put out a ruling of the winner of Fury Wilder Part 3 must fight the winner of Dillian Whyte versus Otto Wallin. That's not what the ruling was. The ruling was the winner of Fury Wilder, which thankfully turned out to be Fury, will fight the interim world heavyweight champion. Well, that's Dillian Whyte. If Dillian Whyte fought Otto Wallin, beat Wallin, he'll be the interim champion. If he doesn't fight Wallin, guess what? He's still the interim champion. Otto Wallin was not ranked in the top 15. I've said it before. Let me say it again. Did you see Dillian Whyte versus Otto Wallin on October the 30th, live on DAZN for the WBC Interim World Heavyweight Championship of the World on that poster, like it would normally be? No, you didn't. Somehow, WBC Interim World Heavyweight Championship was not on the poster. Again, people say that WBC should order that fight to be rescheduled. Otto Wallin quite clearly hasn't been paying any sanction fees. Otto Wallin's not in the top 15, so how are they going to order that exactly? Especially when there's a time frame here, but I'll go back to the point. If you're a Brit and you're a Tyson Fury fan, surely you want him to bulk up his resume a little bit more. If you don't, you're giving me and everybody else the impression that you're afraid. And again, was you holding this same energy when Tyson Fury didn't rematch Deontay Wilder when he was supposed to have done? Because of that draw? When he went and fought Tom Schwartz and then Otto Wallin instead? Was you kicking off at your guy, Tyson Fury, or was you not? People say, well, Dillian Whyte, he's got a contract with Otto Wallin, so he has to do it. Yeah, his contract was to fight on October 30th. He got injured. That voids the contract. Okay? It voids it. It happens the world over. How many fights are scheduled and they don't happen and they don't get rescheduled? Shouldn't Tyson Fury go fight Alexander Ustinov? You remember he was stood there on the scales on the day before. But then he pulled out, not through injury, but because his uncle died. And absolutely correct, he should not have fought. But did he give Ustinov the opportunity to reschedule the fight? No, he didn't. Did he do the same with Ajit Kabriel or Carlos Takam, whoever it was that he was supposed to have fought back in December? Is he looking to give one of those guys a fight? Don't think so. Well, maybe he is. You never know. You never know. But that's the point. If you're a Brit, you're a Tyson Fury fan, if Dillian Whyte's so easy, then what are you worried about? You should be looking forward to it. It's a mega fight, isn't it? It's a mega fight. Who don't want to see Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, especially while you're waiting for the undisputed fight? And for those of you who seem to think that Tyson Fury should not fight Dillian Whyte, well, a lot of you were the same people who were saying Deontay Wilder should be fighting Dillian Whyte. Why isn't he fighting Dillian Whyte? He's ducking Dillian Whyte. And suddenly Tyson Fury comes back after 2.5, 3 years out, gets himself back in the mix for a Deontay Wilder fight. Suddenly, Dillian Whyte, he doesn't deserve a shot and all that kind of stuff. What's the matter with you? Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.